This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
Tonight we begin a series of educational interviews about an effort to fight addiction in our area. Lisa Sugar talks one-on-one with a man who survived addiction and is now dedicating his life to helping others do the same.
We would like to tell you about an effort underway, a grassroots recovery project, the Skook Recovers, and the gentleman behind it who is sitting here with me today, Travis Snyder from Skook County, himself a former addict. Now, we'll get to what the purpose of the Skook Recovers is, but before you can understand where we are today, you have to know where Travis has been and how he got here. Travis, first of all, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's greatly appreciated.
Well, we're appreciative to have you here. Now, you told me you were a recovered addict yourself, so tell us how it all started.
Well, I would have to say that my addiction started at a very young age. And it wasn't until I learned truly what addiction was that it was never really the what I was doing. It was the why. I started with alcohol and marijuana, and I got a taste of opiates, and I realized I didn't know why I was doing the things, but I know it felt good, and that progressed into a very long, 15-year-long addiction to pretty much everything that I could get my hands on. I wasn't using solid and complete for that 15 years. There was times where I had clean time. There was times where I was just drinking and holding jobs, but again, it doesn't matter what I was using. It was the why. It was the behavior behind it.
So what was the turning point?
So the turning point for me was I was mentally, spiritually, and physically broken, and I was arrested by 2 police officers. I call them my angels in blue now. At the time I wasn't very happy, but I was actually arrested and put into Skook County Prison, where I was suffering through tremendous withdrawal symptoms. But in that moment I would say about for 16 days I suffered with the withdrawals, but I was kept there for 4 months, and within that 4 months I allowed myself to reflect on my life, and I just kind of had an awakening, and I realized that I needed to change. And so I made that choice in jail that I was going to do whatever it takes to change my life.
And you've done that?
I've done it, but with a lot of different things. I brought many, many things into my life. I have a wonderful support network. I have a family who loves me unconditionally. I've accepted a higher power into my life, and I really, truly went to work on all aspects of life with a really humble and grateful attitude.
And unfortunately, you are not the only person in this type of situation. We are hearing about addiction on a daily basis. We're hearing about the accessibility of heroin in our area, the growing demand for it. So you wanted to do something to stop other people from falling into the same peril you did.
Well, a big part of the process of recovery is learning the importance. Number one, we have to learn to love ourselves. And once we learn to love ourselves, then we have a better understanding of life and how to love others. And so through the process of recovery, you start to realize how important it is to share those things that we learned. Those things that we wake up every day and work on and bring into our lives. It's important that we get out there and show people. And we don't necessarily go out there and say, hey, this is the answer, this is how you recover. What we simply do is we be a living example, and we get out there, and that's what leads us up to why I'm here today with the Skook Recovers project.
We're going to be getting into great detail about the Skook Recovers project, but for today we want to tell you about an important appearance that you will be making on Tuesday at North Schuylkill High School, talking to the public and anyone who maybe is in the shoes you were in, or has a family member or friend and they want to know how the Skook Recovers can help. So tell us where they can see you Tuesday.
So Tuesday at the North Schuylkill High School in Ashland, Pennsylvania, we're going to be doing an after-school program. It's going to be from 6 to 7 p.m. You're just going to come into the main entrance. We're not sure the exact location. Originally it was the library. And it's just going to be a basic presentation. We have 2 people from within our project that are going to be sharing our testimonies of addiction and recovery. And we're also going to be sharing and elaborating on some of the things that we learned from the process of recovery and how it can help others, not just addicts, but how it can help other people, but also how it can help improve the social consciousness in our area to bring a little bit more compassion and understanding for the disease of addiction. So I hope to see some faces out there, and we're also going to have information for Schuylkill County, local resources, and different kinds of things that we will be handing out as well.
All right, so that's taking place Tuesday at 6 p.m. at North Schuylkill High School. Travis will be back to go into more depth about the Skook Recovers, the grassroots effort that is trying to help stop this terrible addiction in our area.